How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Bitcoin miner Hut 8 shares plummet 8% after disappointing Q2 revenue. So the firm said that they mined 399 Bitcoin during the quarter, which is down 58% compared to the same period last year, so they took a halving before the halving. Guess they wanted a pre-halving. According to Hut, the drop was primarily due to the increased Bitcoin network difficulty between each period and the issues related to specific mining facilities they have. The firm vacated its North Bay facility of 7,000 miners back in March, so that took quite a bit of a hit to them. Meanwhile, they had high energy input levels and equipment failures at their Dunheller facility in May, so that made them drop to 20% of that site's capacity. So they had a few sites where they weren't able to get 100% of their mining capacity, and that was primarily what made them take the bigger hit. They do say they are going to repurpose their existing infrastructure toward a high-performance computing through a newly signed deal with Interior Health. Revenue earned from the agreement will commence later in the year, so we will have to watch more in their beginning 2024 reports when they give their end of the year reports and see how they did. Farmville creator Zynga reveals first Ethereum NFT game, Sugartown. So Zynga, big game maker, but in Sugartown, 3 farm animals have opened a wormhole from another dimension. These creatures are called auras, and they have crossed through the wormhole and turned Sugartown into a fun, gamified world. The game will be released at a later date and will be playable via web browser only. So this is made by Zynga, like I said, one of the bigger game creators. They usually have high engagement rates, so this is something very positive to see. They will release 10,000 Aura NFTs sometime later this year, which will be required to play the game. The Aura NFTs will give you access to the experience and free-to-play minigames within Sugartown. Players will also be able to lock up or stake their Aura NFTs to accumulate sugar, a non-crypto in-game currency. So you'll be able to get an NFT, stake it, get some currency, and you need that NFT if you want to play the minigames and such. So very good opportunity. We'll have to see if this helps with adoption for Web3 games. MetaMask Banax, I think that's how you say it, roll out one-click crypto buys with Apple Pay. Sorry, never knew how to pronounce their name. I just know they were one of my preferred carriers. One of the 8 different on and off-ramp services linked with MetaMask, Banxa is the only one offering the one-click service. MetaMask isn't going to require you to do a separate KYC. It's going to rather have Banxa manage your KYC, which is a good move because if you're going to use Banxa through every different exchange you're going through, and that's the way things are, you only need a KYC once, not through every exchange. So that could help streamline the process there as well. It's a little bit more cumbersome if you don't have this, because you aren't able to just select a quote, see Apple Pay ID, do a double click, Face ID, and bam, you have your funds. That's with Banxa. With the other 7 providers, it takes a bit of time and a little more friction is involved. So over on our market cap, our total for everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, we pretty much went crazy, gapped way up, broke pretty much to the probably way above where we should have too. We should have only broken about this far, and yeah, we pushed twice as much. Our gap was what our breakout should have been. RSI is heading up, Stochastic is heading up, our VWAP is running up, money flow is not really going anywhere, and our momentum's still kind of tapering off. That VWAP being as high as it is likely going to come crashing down unless we have some crazy just bull run start to happen. This could be some sort of cup and handle here, but it'd be very weird to have this large gap in market cap and not come back to fill it. Over on our Bitcoin dominance, we are gapping down, so a lot of people sold off Bitcoin for altcoins, it seems. Our Bitcoin dominance gapped way down, so that's likely to get a bounce up. We have a manipulation XO that wants to bring us even lower, so that's kind of goofy. we could see this in our total drop off. People could roll into stablecoins, and we could see another flush of the market. So that is another possibility there, which could give us that 20k drop. Stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, momentum is coming down, money flow is starting to come out, VWAP's pushing pretty hard under that neutral and is well into the bearish territory, but it's pretty deep, so it is likely to roll back up at some point. So kind of counter to the futures, when you get these big moves, usually we have just one big crazy 4-hour candle here. Yeah, 1 hour we just gapped, just crazy. Half an hour, I'm just kind of curious, like, what kind of a time frame did that happen on? Yeah, just a matter of minutes we made that crazy gap. So we could end up filling that gap. Keep that in mind, that would give Bitcoin a snap back up, but that would also mean we could see our further market pump up, which would be kind of weird with the total. Our total's pumping way more than most our higher value coins, so it's likely some sort of like meme coin is just going crazy, having some wild ride or something. But enough rambling about that. Bitcoin dominance is, our Bitcoin futures is trying to come up. We are trying to push against this resistance, make it our support, but we got rejected. We do have a green candle opening for tomorrow. Money flow is coming up, RSI is trying to come up, our stochastic wants to roll up, VWAP wants to push that neutral and head into the bullish territory. Our money flow could push in the bullish territory if that manages to happen as well. If both those things happen, we could see some further upside. If you're curious for our volume profile, we are still well above our value area low for that volume profile that we broke away from. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we're kind of just ranging in this flag, kind of hit the top, hit the bottom. You should hit the like and subscribe to the channel already if you haven't. Also hit those links down below for our Discord and our Reaper Apparel merch. But our stochastic is trying to curl, RSI wants to make a bit of a curl up here as well. Our VWAP is trying to push up, our momentum is riding that neutral, wants to push through that neutral and gain some bullish momentum. So we'll have to see if the VWAP and momentum can break to the upside from here. If we can, then we could bounce off this zone and just see our point of control, which is up here, get tested and possibly see some higher price action. But that would be dependent on that Bitcoin dominance not just shooting even further down and the total not shooting us down with it. So keep an eye on those two scenarios. Over on Bitcoin, the 4-hour, we are getting a bearish engulfing candle here, so that could push us away. We did have a green dot, invalidated that, and pushed lower. That's why I say when you get them together, usually they aren't so good. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is starting to push away, our VWAP is starting to push, trying to break into the bearish territory, giving our momentum a red dot, which could bring us lower. Money flow is struggling to maintain any kind of bullish momentum, and overall is having downwards trajectory. If we roll over and break here, we could set up some downward strength. Over on the 2-hour, we are trying to range up, make a little bit of a bounce, so we do have a slight uptrend trying to happen here. We'll have to see if that can continue, but right now our stochastic is falling pretty hard. RSI is overall starting to fall, our VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is coming out, kind of starting to taper as our VWAP wants to round back up. So if that VWAP can break through the neutral, that could help give us another bullish push up from here. However, if the VWAP rejects away from this neutral and comes back down, then we'll likely see just a rejection from this support resistance zone and reject away from it. Our money flow is kind of flat here above the bullish territory, about 2, and going not very strong. If we roll over here, flip back into the bearish territory, that could invalidate a bullish move up and set up that downwards bearish action for us. Over on the 1-hour, we are trying to make a kind of move up, kind of like the 2-hour. We are hitting this. You can see all these different candles. That's what makes a good strong support resistance. If you're not familiar with that, check out our trading videos. We have a beginning playlist, not so great with audio, but we will be redoing those videos once we get these 3D printing and other stuff situated. RSI is starting to fall, stochastic's starting to fall, our money flow is falling away from that neutral, and our momentum is falling as well. That VWAP wants to break through to that upside. If that VWAP can break through, we could see some bullish momentum up. However, if we taper away and push down from here, then our momentum's likely going to break under. That green dot will get invalidated, and our money flow could continue out on us, which would give our other indicators bearish momentum to the downside and could break us down out of this pattern. Over on graph, we are somewhat zigzagging around here too. Zoom out for that profile. You can see we are trying to hit that point of control there, so if we do manage to break to the point of control and break above it, we could test that value area high, which is quite a ways away, but we'll have to evaluate if that can happen. Our stochastic has a bullish divergence that helped bring us up. RSI is pushing up. We have a bullish cross on our stochastic, so those ends are looking pretty healthy for a move up. Our VWAP is pushing up. Money flow broke into the bullish territory, so we do have a bullish trend on the daily. Our momentum is trying to come up. It's not quite getting like a sharp increase like our VWAP is. Our VWAP could also meet resistance around this 13 zone, as this is a zone where we've rejected several times, so just keep an eye out for that. Over on the 4 hour, our stochastic is starting to fall, momentum's starting to fall, we have a double red dot, RSI is starting to fall, our money flow was getting some strong bullish momentum, but it's starting to taper out, so if we lose our strength here, we could give the strength to the bears, and we could start another leg down. Our VWAP is starting to try to break through that neutral, kind of flicking into that bearish territory. That's what's giving us that red dot on the momentum. So if that does carry through and get some new lows, we could see a pretty strong move to the downside from that. Over on the 2 hour, we have a lot of red dots and bearish divergences, kind of hard to see them all. Our momentum is coming down, RSI is overall curling out, stochastic's starting to fall. Our money flow is struggling to maintain a strong bullish momentum. We're at about 3, and we keep getting rejected from this point. So we could set up some bearish momentum pretty easily if we hold into the bearish territory for a few candles. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, wanted to come up, but it's starting to lose strength to the upside and could taper out, so watch out for that. Over on the 1 hour, we are trying to push up. We have an up channel. Up channels are descending patterns, so just keep that in mind. Don't get too hyped up just because it's an up channel. Up doesn't always mean you're going up. RSI is starting to fall. Momentum is starting to get a red dot that could bring us lower. Money flow is getting lower highs and trending lower. Our VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory, and our stochastic wants to get a bearish cross with our RSI pointing down. So the 1 hour has some strong bearish signals here. If they continue over the next couple candles, we could get a push down. Over on Anchor, we are somewhat just locked in this range again, not really going too far. RSI is pretty flat, money flow is pretty flat, our stochastic's pretty flat, VWAP's flat, and our momentum's flat, somewhat coming out, but overall we're not really going anywhere. Over on the 4 hour, we have a bearish flag forming here out of our ascending wedge that started to break down, so this could break us lower. Stochastic is starting to take a dip. RSI is struggling to gain any new highs and could start to fall. Our money flow is struggling to gain bullish momentum past this like 12, so if we get a rejection here, we could see further downside. Our VWAP has broken into the bearish territory and is pushing lower, and our momentum has a red dot and is pushing lower as well. Over on the 2 hour, looks like we formed some gaps and filled them, so Anchor's not done doing that yet. RSI is overall trending kind of flat, somewhat starting to lose strength here. Our stochastic is going to drop, but trying to recover around the 30, so if we do get a recovery here, we could set some bullish momentum. Our money flow is in the bullish territory, trying to head up, but it's not very strong, so if we get rejected here like we did back there, we could set another leg to the downside, and this money flow could continue its trend to make lower lows. Over on the 1 hour, not really anything too exciting that we haven't filled. We are getting a red candle, so we could get a drop from here. RSI is starting to point down, stochastic starting to round off. Money flow starting to sharply come out, and VWAP starting to head down as well. So that could bring our momentum down and overall bring us lower. Over on XRP, we are getting a bounce off this point of control, so that is good for us. We're finally getting some sort of action. That is a retest, so tomorrow, if we get confirmation of this retest, we could head to our value area high, which would be around that 76-cent zone. Stochastic is trying to push up, our VWAP's trying to make a little bit of a rebound, our RSI is trying to push up, so we are looking pretty decent for a move upwards. Over on the 4 hour, money flow is ramping up pretty strong, VWAP is pushing up pretty decently, we're at about 13, and starting to kind of taper, so just keep an eye out for that. Take a look at these candles a little better. We had a manipulation X that wanted to bring us down, we're pumping away from it, and that is a long lower shadow candle and a hammer candle, so that is good for us. We do have a bullish divergence that pushed us up as well, and our momentum is coming up. So overall, we have some strong signals here for a continued move up, and we broke away from this higher volume area. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is trying to push higher, so we are overall trending up. Our stochastic has a bullish cross and wants to head higher. We do have some strong moves here, so those could push higher with us. Our momentum is pushing pretty sharply, our VWAP is pushing pretty sharply. Our money flow is a little concerning though, as it's in the bullish territory, but it's struggling to maintain strong bullish strength. If we start to roll over here, this may be a top and we could see a drop. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic starting to taper off, but RSI is pushing as our stochastic still has strength, so that is good for us, it's still in bullish territory. Momentum is pushing up pretty strong, but our VWAP starting to get a bit of a rejection here around this 15 zone, where it's been rejected several other times before, so just watch out for a bearish trend to start from here. Our money flow is trying to push up pretty decently, but we haven't been this high for quite some time. Keep an eye on that as well. But if that money flow can maintain and that VWAP can curl away, we could continue to see some upside, or if the VWAP goes kind of flat. Over on Algo for the daily, last but not least, we are starting to get a bit of a dip back toward our point of control, so we could come retest that. If we get a bounce and push higher, then we could test the value area high again. However, if we break through it and get a red candle after, then we would confirm a trend to go toward the value area low. Stochastic is starting to get a bearish push, RSI is starting to curl out, momentum's starting to get a bit of a taper as our VWAP's getting lower highs and trending out. Our money flow is starting to push away from the neutral and has bearish trends, so we could see further downside from here. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is falling pretty hard, RSI is starting to fall, and our momentum is falling. So overall we have a push down here. Money flow is going pretty flat, starting to head downwards, and our VWAP is tapering out pretty strongly. So overall we have more bearish action than bullish currently. Over on the 2 hour, we have manipulation X's bringing us down. Our momentum has broken into the bearish territory, RSI is falling, our stochastic is falling, touching that oversold area. Our money flow is touching that neutral, wants to break through, so keep an eye on that. If we head to the bearish territory and maintain, we could see further push down. Our VWAP is getting slight higher lows, so that is going good for us and could trend higher. We'll have to see if it can break through this -9. If it can, then we could push toward the value, toward the neutral, sorry. And then we could head higher. If we push through that neutral, we could get that green dot on our momentum, and we could set up a move forward. But we're going to need more green candles from here to do that. Over on the 1 hour, RSI is starting to get a bit of a bounce. Stochastic's trying to get a bit of a bounce. Our money flow is starting to get a bit of a curl. Our VWAP is pushing against that neutral, so it wants to break bullish, giving our momentum a green dot. If we can continue this strength, we could set up another trend upwards. However, if we lose the strength here, then this likely will fall away. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.